Too much peroxide in your water, you're wasting money. Too little peroxide, and you still have odors in your water. Today, I'm going to show you how to get the exact dose of peroxide you need to make sure your water comes out great. Hi, my name is Jerry Bulfin, Master Water Specialist and founder of CleanWaterStore.com. If you're using peroxide to inject into your well water in order to kill odors, I'm going to show you exactly how to set it so you don't put too much or too little, and it'll come out perfect. So why does it matter? The idea is you want to inject enough so it interacts with the odors in the water, so it kills the odors, but it doesn't put in too much. So there's such a thing as a peroxide demand in the water, where once the peroxide is injected, the odors interact with it and other impurities, and a powerful oxidation takes place where these odors are destroyed and the water smells great. However, if you put in too much, then you'll actually end up with excess peroxide, which you don't want. Obviously, you don't want to drink water with peroxide in it. Wouldn't kill you, but it's basically not the best way to go. So you want to make sure you don't have excess peroxide in your water. And the way to do that is to make sure your dosage is correct, and that's what we're going to go over today. So let's review quickly how peroxide works. Most folks are using peroxide with catalytic carbon. So when you inject the peroxide into the water, which is automatically when the well pump runs, pump puts in peroxide into the pipe, then it flows into the catalytic carbon filter. Most folks, for their home well where it's smelling, they get that hydrogen sulfide, that rotten egg smell, then you're looking at somewhere between 2 and 8 parts per million typically. So you can use that as a formula to get started. And there's a formula in our guide. It's very simple. The idea is you're just trying to figure out what the setting is to start on the pump. And you're also trying to figure out what the solution strength of your peroxide is. Peroxide comes in different concentrations. You can buy industrial strength, which is 35% peroxide. And generally for homes, we don't recommend it. It's dangerous to work with. It can explode. And so you're better off using the 7%, which is totally safe. The stuff in the store in the brown bottles is 3%. That's not a very economical way to buy it, but you can get 5 gallons or gallon jugs in the 7%. That's what we recommend. So basically you're starting out with 7% peroxide, and generally for most homes where their well pumps are putting out somewhere around 10 to 15 gallons per minute, we recommend diluting the peroxide by 1 to 4. So basically you're adding 3 gallons of water for every gallon of concentrate. So you end up with a total of 4. So you're starting out with a solution strength of diluted, and then you're setting the pump at 50%. And then basically you're turning the system on, and then you're running the water and you're testing it to see how it's doing. If you know how much hydrogen sulfide you have and your water chemistry, and you know your flow rate of your well pump, then you can use the simple formula in our guide as a starting point. And you can also do the bubble test, which is when you get your system up and running and there's no odor, and you can run the water in the house and there's no bubbles in the water, then you're fine. And you can turn up the peroxide pump, say it runs at 50% speed, just turn it up to 100%. And now all of a sudden you start to see bubbles in the house, and then you back it off down to say 60, 70%. And then you know you're in the right spot. So especially in the beginning, it's a good idea to keep a log, like a clipboard, and write down how much peroxide you've used, what the settings were on the pump. In the future, you can adjust it and go back and make it easier to make adjustments based on your notes. Whatever adjustment you make, you do it slowly. Like you don't need to double it. It might go up by 10 or 20% if you're trying to inject more or less. If you think it's using too much, you can inject less. And of course, if you ever have any questions about this, our guys are here to help you. We're available by phone, by text. We can meet with you on Zoom. We can see your system, what you're dealing with, and help you. We also go over the calculations for our customers. You can send in a water sample. We won't be able to measure the hydrogen sulfide odor in the water based on a sample you send in, but we can measure other things in the water like your pH, is there iron or manganese in the water, that type of thing. So our support team is here to help. If you ever have any questions about how to set one of these systems up, just feel free to get in contact with us. If you want to see another video on how hydrogen peroxide works, just click here to watch my video on how to install a hydrogen peroxide system. If you have any questions about setup or any comments, just drop a comment here and I'll get back to you.